Imagine sitting down and minding your own business. Then, out of the blue, someone uses a racial slur towards you. Imagine watching TV and hearing jokes made about your race that mock you and the way that you look. Imagine wishing that you were a different race because people treat you as less than a human. One day, I came face to face with a boy who says the N-word a lot. He thought it was funny to address me as his N-word. He isn't black. He should know at least some of the history behind this slur, yet he still says it. I can name a few slurs that I've been called. Monkey, Negro, Blackie, slave, cotton picker, melon muncher, squaw, land taker, and redskin. I find these slurs extremely offensive, and I see that most of the Black and Native community finds them disturbing too. But you want to know what the worst part about it is? People have made a thing called the N-word pass. Let that sink in. The N-word pass. It's where you give a person who isn't black a pass to say the N-word without being racist. Now imagine how many kids have come up to me and asked me for this pass. I had this first interaction in the 5th grade. I was confused and annoyed. Now that I'm in the 8th grade, these interactions have not gone away. Looking away from my experience, which I can talk about all day, racial slurs are not limited to my race. I have a friend who's Hispanic. She says they call her the most absurd things that you can think of, saying she's Hispanic so she likes tacos, or she's Hispanic so she's good at climbing walls. Better yet, or even worse, laughing because some of her family got deported. I see that people like to bring up 9/11. They target Muslims and say, Muslims started 9/11. They're terrorists. They even call them bombers. The list goes on. I hear these slurs at my school left and right. I was by myself one morning, and again, a boy who usually says the N-word had said it. I looked over at him, and of course I wasn't surprised that he had said the slur, but what caught me off guard was the fact that he got up, put one fist in the air, got on one knee, then said, "Black Lives Matter." And honestly, I'm a very reserved, kind, and respectful person. But in this moment, I was extremely livid. People comment on their own race and say, "It's our slur. We should be able to say it whenever we want." Or, "I'm not being racist because I'm only saying it to my race." How are you not being racist? You just called someone of the same race as you a slur and thought it meant nothing but a hilarious joke. This generation doesn't get it. They don't understand the history behind my race, and I doubt that I know the history behind yours. But listen to this. Slurs are not okay. They never have been, and they never will be. Knowing my past experience, here are some ways that we can stop this. Stop saying slurs. Stop and think about what you're about to say. It's important to think before you speak, and it's important to be aware of what the consequences of your actions will be. Do you know about their racial history? Do you know where they've been? Do you know how it'll affect them? Imagine if our schools got the better history of things. What if teachers stopped sugarcoating the things that they teach us? Maybe we would stop. Imagine that. Imagine if they started treating us like the young adults that we are instead of the little kids that we were. History will continue to repeat itself this way. Kids aren't always really connected with the history that you're teaching because what you're teaching is not the full story. Imagine if all students felt like they belonged? What if administrators, counselors, and all school staff were the responsible adults that they were supposed to be and looked out for us? What if they were made more aware of these racial slurs that are being said every single day? We want to feel like we belong. Parents, please talk to your kids. Talking to your kids about what they're saying or what they might be hearing in school is always a great way to understand why this is such a big thing now. Kids pick up things from other kids, and they pick up things from their parents. Imagine the impact that youth can have in our schools and in our communities. Students, if this is happening to you, don't be afraid to speak up. Speak to a trusted adult. Make your voice heard because your voice matters. If you're someone who is committing to saying slurs, stop and reflect on how you would feel if somebody came up to you and called you a slur. For everyone, talk to your friends. Ask them to stop saying these derogatory terms. If they say them, or if they have any other friends who say them, ask them politely to stop. It doesn't matter if it's a joke about somebody's skin color, religion, sexuality, or disability. And it definitely doesn't matter if you're saying it to a friend or not. Looking back at my experience, I want to help the next generation learn and understand from the mistakes of my generation. Imagine if we all weren't so clueless to what we say to others and celebrated our differences.